Okay. So, a year ago, that would be like January 2018. I'm just thinking in 2 days' time, it's 3 days' time, it's my sister's birthday. I must not forget that. So, a year ago, I was kind of getting out of a relationship. I had already broken up with my previous boyfriend, and I was going through a lot of changes that I was deciding to make in my life. March, I meet Hernan through Tinder. We speak a lot. Like, we spoke about 1 month before actually seeing each other. I think even more than 1 month. And then we finally meet at this bar that was called Puerta Uno in Buenos Aires. And well, now when I think about it, I think that I thought that it was just like, oh my god, but I don't remember. I know I liked him when I saw him. I know that that night went like over so fast. We were just talking and talking, and we laughed, and I love laughing. And for me, somebody that I can laugh with like that out of the blue it was just, whoa, okay, I like this. And he came in his motorbike, and this bar was about 10 blocks from my house. So I live with my parents in Argentina. So, well, when it's closing and we go and we walk to my house and we're talking and all of this, and I'm kind of also thinking inside of my head, right? Well, I mean, I thought we had liked each other, but you never know, right? You're never sure. Because maybe he had liked me like a friend, or maybe he was just very friendly. And we're walking, and then we get to my house, the door of my house. I'm sorry, my English is not very good. And I'm looking at him. I don't remember exactly what we say. And at some point, I just tell him like, "Should we kiss?" I ask him, "Should we kiss?" And he doesn't say anything. But I don't give him much time either, because that's the way I am for him. And I say, no, let's just leave it for next time. And I hug him. And I hug him like, oh my god, we have always had like the best hug ever. I love our hug. I feel that our bodies are meant to hug. The size of me and of my torso, and the size of him and his torso and his arms and my arms were just perfect hugging match. And I think that's important. Hugging match is important in your life. To match with people to hug with, like that you just feel like you're a piece of a puzzle and you're together perfectly. So we hug, and that's it. I go in, and I'm so nervous, and I'm not, I don't know, I was nervous, and I knew I liked him, but I wasn't like, oh my god, I like him, but I liked him. I don't really remember how that went. After we spoke, and I think like that week or some days later, we went to one of his friends' birthday party at this bar, and I arrived first, and I was waiting for him, and then he arrived, and we had fun. He has some pictures of that, so maybe I'm going to put it in the blog, as I'm going to do a blog. And then that was our first kiss. That was our first kiss. I don't remember if I kissed him or he kissed me, but it was our first kiss. And we laughed a lot. We laughed again a lot. And I believe, I'm pretty sure it has to have been that day that I went over to his place, which is not something I would generally do. Not because I think it's bad, but I mistrust a bit. But I felt so at ease with him. And obviously we had sex because it wasn't making love yet, but it was making love also. And he had a small bed, and I remember that I slept over, and the next morning he was like, did you sleep well? I'm sorry, the size of the bed. And I had slept great because we had to hug because of the size of the bed, and also because we liked it. So for me it was great, and I thought it was so beautiful that he would be like preoccupied of if I slept well because of the size of the bed, when I was really, yeah, that was the leastest thing I was thinking of. I really didn't care about that. Well, and then, well, this is going to be a long video. I'm sorry. Yeah, but I want to tell the story. So, after that, we just started seeing each other. We saw each other, but we were obviously just seeing each other. And I kind of got the impression that he just kind of, he liked me. But, I mean, when I went over to his place, I always slept over, and the next morning he would make breakfast, and he would be so kind and nice and gentle and loving. And I was like, oh. So I had no doubts when I was with him. But when I left, I felt like he disappeared. And I was like, okay, so maybe this is just sex for him. So we're going to do this. And I did that. And months passed by. And at some point, I had the impression that I was like, oh, I think I'm having feelings. And I was pretty sure that he just wanted sex. So I went like, maybe I should pull out. So I did, and then I kind of, after a while, felt that, yeah, no, that's gone. I'm okay. I don't have no feelings. I can still do this. So we saw each other again from time to time, and then in July, my son, I have a son, Gael. He's 13 years old and lives with his father in Bolivia. So my son comes visit me in July, and my parents were traveling, so it was just me and him at home. And Hernan helped me with that. And I mean, I knew Hernan like from March, Marzo, Abril, Mayo, Junio, Julio, like 4 months we knew each other, right? And we weren't dating or anything. And he was still he was so nice to Gael, and they had fun, and he was very willing to help me. And I was like, oh my God, he's so sweet. I cannot fall in love. Oh my God, I cannot. And then I again told myself, that's okay, I'm not falling in love. Perfect. My son goes back to Bolivia, and the same day he has his plane ticket to Bolivia, I have a plane ticket to Miami to visit my sister, because I was working in an airline and I had standby tickets. So I go to Miami. No, I go to New York with a friend from work. And I had 1 day in New York. So we arrive. We're so tired, but we just change and go go visit the city and see New York. Oh, it's an amazing city. It's like, whoa, concrete beast. But it's like no, I have never felt that in a city. Like the giganticness. Like, whoa, this is gigantic. Never felt that in any other city. And while we're there, and we walk a lot, and we visit and all, and at night we go out, and all that day, I was obviously having a lot of fun. It was beautiful, and this friend of mine is the best. I love him. So we were having fun. He's funny too. He's very funny and nice. Diego, he's Brazilian, but I would think of Hernan, right? A lot that day. I would think a lot of him. And comes the night, we go out, I have some drinks, and then I'm thinking of Hernan. And at some point, we're going back to our hotel, because we had a flight to Miami the next day, the next kind of morning. So, and we're walking down, I don't know, this very known avenue, I think, in New York, where there are a lot of lights, like a lot of lights, and everything is huge, and we're walking through that street or avenue that you would see in movies, and I'm there, and I realize, like, oh, shit, I'm here, like, in this spectacular place, and what I'm mostly thinking about is this guy. And then it just hits me, it's like, no, I'm in love, or I'm falling in love, and I cannot just pretend I want to not see it, or this is for real. So what do I do? Because this is the way I am, anxious me, very anxious me. I am not able to, as soon as I have a feeling, I have to let it out. So what do? Immediately I send him a message. Obviously it wasn't the best moment, because I wasn't drunk, but I just wanted him to know I didn't care. I just was like, okay, I don't care. It's in me, it's gonna get out. He'll do whatever he wants with it. So I sent him a message telling him this. telling him, I just realized that I'm here and I should be super like in New York and with my friend, and the only thing I can think about is you. And he answers back something like, I don't know, like, have fun, enjoy where you are, enjoy the moment. And I'm like, what? Did you just say that? Okay. So I was like, I look at Diego and I'm like, he just told me to have fun. So he obviously doesn't care. And I was like, oh. So I sent him a message going like, okay, yeah, well, I just tell you that I can't stop thinking about you, and you tell me to have fun and to be in the moment. So, yeah, I don't know. My message says something like that, so let's just leave it there. And I don't get anything back. So I'm like, okay, well, fucking fine then. Good. At least things are clear, and I'm just gonna, stop, delete him from my mind and thoughts. And the next day we tried to board on many flights because these were standby flights, and we're like running from one flight to the other with my friend, and we finally boarded a flight with, I thought they were so good, this company, an American company. I thought they were nice people, beautiful outfits. Well, I don't remember which company it was. I loved them. And I get to Miami, my sister comes pick me up, I get to her place, and I meet her boyfriend. They're such a beautiful couple. When my kid met them because he was in the United States, and I asked him what he felt about it, and he said like, they're the only couple that I have really seen like love. And I think so too. So it's very beautiful to know that my sister has that. So I get there, and I'm in Miami, and I'm doing like, okay, so I'm gonna do Miami style, and I'm gonna have fun, and I'm just not even gonna think about anything. And when I get back, I don't even know if I'm gonna talk to him, but I had left him my house keys for him to take kind of care of my cat. So I was like, I'm just gonna ask him to leave the keys when I'm not there, and okay, and I'm just going to enjoy Miami. So I started doing that, and it was beautiful, sunny. I was riding a bike, I was going swimming, and having a lot of fun. I had these things done, this balayage done in my hair by this awesome guys that work with my sister. They did a really good job. Right now it doesn't really look good. They're gonna hate me, but it's because I had like last night I was in this bar and I had some product, and whatever. And I do that, and one day, I don't know how long afterwards, or like 1 day or 2 days after I arrive, I get a message from him like, hey, how are you doing? Do you want to send me some pictures? Because that's what I was doing before, sending him pictures all the time. And I'm like, yeah, sure. You want to just, okay, yeah, sure, I'll send you pictures. Want to pretend nothing happened? I'll send you fucking pictures. So we started talking again. Just talking normal. I didn't want to pay attention to my mobile phone because I actually don't like to do that. And I'm in Miami for like, I think it was about 10 days. It was great. And I really decided, I felt so good there. And it didn't, when I came back, I had this completely different energy. And when I arrived, I'm like, okay, I want to leave Argentina. I want to go. I had been thinking about this while I was with the previous guy. It had been like a couple of years that I was like, okay, I want to leave, but I didn't know how to do that, what to do. So I arrived, and that's the same feeling, but I'm like, yeah, I'm really decided I have to do something. I really want to leave. I have to do something about it. And while I was taking on the plane back, I just thought about it, and I'm like, oh, I'm in love, and now I'm gonna have to start being in love, unloving, unbeing in love, stopping that. But I wrote what I felt, and I couldn't. It was stronger than me, so I just sent him a text message like, okay, I'm gonna be arriving at home at like 7 a.m. If you want, you can sleep at my place and be there, or just give me the keys afterward. And I put my thing on flight mode so I don't get an answer until I get to Argentina in the morning, and I see he answered like, yeah, I'm sleeping here. And I'm like, butterflies all over my everything. Butterflies everywhere. Butterflies in my eyes, in my mouth, and everything. I'm like, oh my God, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I get home. I go up to my room, and I was like, great energy, nice tan, beautiful hair, feeling awesomeness. And he's there in my bed, and he doesn't wake up immediately. And I look at him, and I'm like, I'm fucked. And then he kind of wakes up and we just hug. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do this for now. We sleep, we do that, and the next day I had a barbecue, and he stays over, and at some point I'm like, okay, I have to talk to him. So I tell him at some point he was going to teach me how to ride a motorcycle. He was supposed to do that the next day, and I go like, I don't think it's a good idea that you. I tell him, you remember the message I sent you? Yeah. He goes. I'm like, any comments on that? I didn't say that, but I kind of said it with my face. Nothing from him. So I'm like, okay, so he's clearly not interested. That's what I felt, right? So I tell him, okay, well, maybe then we shouldn't do the motorcycle classes because I don't want to get hurt. And he said, like, I'm still going to come over tomorrow. And I'm like, you're not understanding. I like you and I'm falling for you. So let's just not do this anymore. Obviously, because he's not saying he has feelings for me. So I'm not going to keep falling for somebody that's just... And he goes like, I'm going to come by tomorrow. And I'm like, oh my God, what you're saying is stupid. Please don't say that. I mean, I'm like declaring my love to you and you're just... And then he goes like, oh yeah, I don't know how he says it, but he says he also is falling in love with me. And I'm like, oh, best moment ever, oh my God. And then we started being together that moment. And the next day, my best friend that lives here in Denmark, look how life is. When my energy was like, now I need to do this. Now I want to leave Argentina. Now I am in love. When you really are ready for things and your energy, the energy that you're throwing out there is like, I want this. I'm going to do this. I want this. Things happen. I start being with her now and we're like, okay, let's do this. And the next day, my best friend from Copenhagen tells me, hey, how are you doing? There might be an opening at the place I'm working. Would you like to send your CV? And I'm like, really? Now I get to have everything I wanted all at the same time, and they don't match because, I mean, Hernán is in Argentina. This is Copenhagen, but I want to leave. I know I want to leave. And I went like, yes, because I know I wanted to leave. I mean, and it was just, I had to do this. It was stronger. I had already done the not traveling to be with somebody, and I didn't want to do it again. So I tried out. I sent my CV. We go a bit back and forth. I have some interviews, and they say that they like me, but since I'm not in Copenhagen, they can't really, take me. And I think a bit about it a couple of weeks, and I decide that I'm gonna leave my job and I'm gonna take a ticket and I'm gonna go to Copenhagen. I decide that. Once I take the ticket, I write to this girl from the job position, and she goes like, oh, well, right now we're trying other people, but I mean, you can still come and we can still have an interview when you arrive. So I don't have the job position, but they're open to still obviously having an interview with me. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. I don't care. I mean, I've always wanted to go, and this is it. This is my chance. And I'm not going to stay for her, and I'm not going to stay because I've got my best friend. I've got her love. She's talking to me about this place, and I like what she's saying about the country and the people, and this is my chance. I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. So this was like October. Yeah, I don't know. No, August. It was August. This was August. I'm going to if you're interested in hearing the rest of the story, just go to the other video because this is really being long.